If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
That is me, Christine McIver. Welcome, everyone, to my show, the Inspired Choices Show. And we are on the Inspired Choices Network. Now, if you're just joining us, you will find that each and every week I talk about something new. 99.9% of the time, it's related to business. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a budding entrepreneur, if you're someone that's been thinking about it, or if you've been around the entrepreneurial community for a long time, I hope that you will find the content that I provide a real asset for you. And tonight we're talking about open your eyes to the possibilities. How many of us would love to have more possibilities in our lives? Uh, I know that I would. I believe that everyone that I encounter would. I know that my clients, when I'm working with them, they're definitely looking for that. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Before I totally jump into that show, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am, especially if this is the first time you are meeting me or listening or watching. I am a business optimization expert, which means I know how to look at a business and find the gaps, look at where the entrepreneur or the organization can be putting more energy, be putting more structure, and be really stepping out onto the stage, onto the virtual stage primarily, and working with clients and customers in a much greater way, in ways that will elevate their voice, elevate their exposure, really bring them global exposure, and elevate the way that they operate their business. So many entrepreneurs nowadays they're running around. They're running, trying to survive. And when I work with my clients, I'm actually putting them into the driver's seat. So they have a strategy, they're working that strategy, and the ultimate goal is to be having pleasure with their business. I have a philosophy, my friends. If you're not having pleasure with your business and you're struggling, you're going to continue to create that type of relationship energetically with clients and with other people who are out there in the business world who have the possibilities you might be looking for. So let's get you into the possibilities so that you can have more pleasure with your business. I'm also the CEO of the Inspired Choices Network. That's our home platform. And I am the founder and CEO of the Inspired Choices, the ICN Summits, the ICN Publishing, and ICN Pro. So we have a lot of different things that we offer to support our entrepreneurs. And I would love to have a conversation with you if you're someone that is looking for support and somebody that's going to give you the straight goods, hold you accountable, but really bring you forward. So you can contact me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, or you can just search my name, Christine McIver, and Inspired Choices Network, and you will find me. All right, let's get into tonight's show. Let me read you the show notes, and then we're going to dive right in. So, when the possibilities seem narrow and you've been feeling lost, like you're lost, what can you do? It's not just a matter of can, it's a matter of you must. You always have choice, of course, but if you have a desire to grow and succeed and prosper in your life and in your business, you must pivot. You must. If you're not pivoting, if you're not changing the direction and the focus of what's going on in your business, your business is going to ultimately fail because eventually you're going to run out of steam. And B, and this is the bigger thing, you're going to miss opportunities like you wouldn't believe. You must pivot where you are looking. Are your eyes focused on? Are you listening to all of the noise of doom and gloom? Or are you opening up to the amazing creative possibilities in the world? We are going to talk about all of this and more on tonight's show. And no matter where you're listening from or watching from, please, if you would love to ask some questions live, come on over and join us at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room, and I'll be answering all of your questions in there. So let's talk about possibilities. Why would we not have our eyes on the possibilities? Why would we not open our eyes to the possibilities? Well, the first thing that pops into me, to my knowing, is that we don't have a belief that they are available for us. How many of you right now are sitting in your, oh gosh, I'm struggling. I'm not making money. I don't have the clientele. I don't know what to do. You're in that really heavy energy. And how many of you that are in that heavy energy, how many of you are reading and watching different people on social media talking or posting about all the terrible things that are happening in the world? How many? I would suggest that there's probably more than 60 to 75% of people that desire more, but are actually following all of the crazy in the world. Now, let me be really clear. This is not to diminish anybody's challenges in the world at all. But what you've got to know is there has always been challenges in the world. Just go read a history book. There's been wars, there's been violence, there's been all sorts of things. In fact, if you go back in history and read some of the things that went on, you'll know that we are actually living in calmer times than there were in some of the times in the past, in past centuries, right? And so yes, there's all of this out there. There has always been crazy out there. Do you need to be informed? Yes, you do need to be informed. It's not about that. It's about being marinated in the crazy. When you are marinating in the crazy, you are actually soaking all of that into your mindset. You're soaking that into your business. You're soaking that into every bit of who you are, because you are paying so much attention to that and you are being upset by it. You're being disgusted by it. You have to really strengthen that muscle of being informed without being marinated in it. And part of that is you really filtering what you're listening to, what you're watching, and how much time you're actually giving that in your life. You know, my mom used to, she used to oftentimes tell me, oh, did you hear about this? And did you hear about that? And it was oftentimes things that were not good. Very rarely did we hear things that were really great that she would say that to me. She wasn't a negative person. It wasn't that, but she was raised to really pay attention to the media and pay, read that newspaper, read that newspaper. But when she was growing up, the newspaper was primarily the only way of learning what was happening in the world. Well, now our newspapers have so much negativity going on because that's what sells, that when she would read something in it, she would call me up and tell me, oh my gosh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And I would say no. And she would get upset with me. She goes, Christine, you need to know these things that are going on. And I would say to my mom, respectfully, Mom, I'm over here. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm learning, I'm growing my business, I'm working with my clients, I'm communicating with people that need my support. And it can be, friends that are struggling, colleagues that are struggling. It's not that I'm not there to support people who are challenged, but looking at people and what is going on for them in a close proximity, and working with people to support them and doing my job. And my job is to do my business and do it as best as I possibly can, to take care of me, to make sure that what's going into my ears and my mind, right, is really something that is going to create greater in my life so I can create greater in the world. Because if I'm over here worrying, if I'm over here fretting about things, I am bringing that out to the world. And the truth is, and this is what I would say to her, is I can't affect what's going on over there immediately. But what I can do is I can take care of where I'm at, my mental health, my physical health, and the way that I interact and grow my business and how I can support other people. You have to turn off the noise. If you do not turn off the noise, if you're someone that is addicted to all of the crazy and you love drama and trauma and you're just so addicted, one of my favorite platforms is TikTok. And I really do learn a great deal on TikTok. I've met a lot of wonderful people. I stay informed with small little clips of information and I enjoy learning and growing from that platform. I do the other platforms, but TikTok's one of my favorites. However, you can also have in your feed a lot of negative, right? And when you are marinating yourself in the negative, in the worry, in the gloom and doom of the world, you are going to be cutting off your mindset to the possibilities because you just automatically start to go into, oh my gosh, this is awful, everything's so terrible, this is terrible, that's terrible. My friends, there are many different things available in the world, but you have got to change where you are looking. You have to open your eyes to the possibilities. So one of the biggest reasons you are missing the possibilities is because A, it's where you're focusing. It's B, what you're feeding yourself. And C, because you enjoy drama. Now, for some of you, you might say to me, go to hell, Christine. That's not true. Isn't it? Look at what you're consuming. What are you consuming? What are you surrounding yourself with? Listen to the conversations that you are having with people. How many of you that are interested in growing your business can recall the last time you had a conversation about possibilities? When was the last time you actually created a conversation about possibilities? When was the last time that you spent time with a colleague being excited about new possibilities that are coming your way, about possibilities you're creating? When was the last time you had those conversations? Now, if you didn't have a conversation about possibilities in the last 24 hours, what were you having conversations about? Were you having conversations and celebrating what you've accomplished in the last 24 hours? Were you celebrating someone else's accomplishments, therefore basking in wonderful celebration energy? Or were you looking at your taxes? It's April the 17th, so everybody's in their taxes. Were you looking at the taxes? Were you looking at how much money you had to pay? Were you complaining about how much money you don't have? Were you complaining about how much work you have? Were you complaining about a spouse? Were you complaining about your children? Were you complaining about the traffic? When you are in this energy, I really want you guys to get it. You're not going to be available for the possibilities. I want you to think of it like a telephone line, okay? When you are talking on the complaint line, the telephone can't ring with your possibilities. They can't. The line just can't come through. You are cutting off what is available. So we have this mindset of there's terrible, terrible things going on in the world. I'm not having the opportunities come my way that I want. And look at all the terrible things in my own life. And we then buy into what we believe is true, which is that there's no other possibilities for us. Now, you may come out of it and you may have a little bit of good time here or there. You may sell a little here or there. You may have the occasional conversation that's positive, but you don't have a stream of possibilities coming. That's in your hands. The stream of possibilities is in your hands, and what you do or you don't do makes a huge, huge difference. So we are up to our first break of the show. I've got a lot more that I want to share with you about opening your eyes to the possibilities and how you can start seeking out those possibilities with where you are looking. So my friends, stay tuned. You're listening to Inspired Choices with Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices Network, and we will be back just right after this short commercial break.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. If you are just joining, you definitely need to go back and listen to the first segment of the show. Tonight's show is Open Your Eyes to the Possibilities. So a lot of times we're talking about what are the possibilities? And this title of this show is Open Your Eyes. I should have a big exclamation mark after that. Open your eyes to the possibilities. And that title also infers is there are possibilities everywhere. There are possibilities everywhere. The majority of people are good people, and our world is going to continue, and creativity is going to continue, and opportunities are going to grow more and more and more. You know, every generation has its time where they talk about, oh my gosh, this happened and it really impacted us here and there. And, you know, when we moved into an industrial age, there was so much fear was really ran rapid that people were not going, there was not going to be enough jobs, and the farmers were not going to be able to feed themselves. And then when we moved from the industrial into the real corporate, there was a lot more fear. This is normal human behavior. We actually have a really difficult time with change. But I want you to think about this. If you're looking for new possibilities, you must have change, right? If you don't have change, how can you have new possibilities? So I want you to write that down. Change actually creates new possibilities for me. And when you allow yourself and really you start to pay attention to what your mind is repeating, change really the way that you allow your mind to focus. And you say to yourself each day, I wonder what possibilities are going to come my way today. What you're doing in that statement, I wonder what possibilities are going to come to me in that way. So, what does that statement say? That statement actually says possibilities are going to come to me. And when you say, I wonder what possibilities are going to come to me today, you are opening up your energy with your words to receive more possibilities coming your way. You have to set the stage for what you are going to receive. If you do not set that stage, you are not going to have that opportunity. You're just not. If you don't set up shop, if you don't have a website, if you don't have an email address, if you don't have organization, if you don't have a way to create your service or your product, you cannot sell something, right? Like if you're doing an online business, you have to set the stage for people to be able to find you, communicate with you, and buy from you. You have to set that stage. Well, the same is true with your possibilities. You have to set the stage for possibilities coming your way. And the very first place that starts with is with your mindset, with your willingness to know, to absolutely know that there are more possibilities in the world. Absolutely more possibilities in the world. Now, one of the poisons to the possibilities is you comparing yourself to other people. And I have not met one client yet, or most people that are in their own business, that are not comparing what they're creating to someone else. We get started in our business, and the very first thing, we're excited. And then what we start to do is we start to look at what everybody else is doing, maybe to get some information about how we could do it, or what's actually available out there to do. And then without even realizing it, we slip into comparison. We slip into, oh my gosh, they're so organized, they look so polished, they know how to do this, they know how to do that, I don't know how to do that, oh my god, there's something wrong with me, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm going to quit. Truly, that goes through our brains in about 5 to 10 seconds. That's how quickly we can slip into comparison. Here's a tool that will really, really help you to have you not go into comparison. When you see someone succeeding in business, when you see a post, when you see them sharing about something that they've done, all right, cheer them on and say, I will have what they're having. I will have what they're having. Yes, I say yes to that too. What that's going to do is it's going to bring you into their energy of joy and celebration. And it's going to take you and your mind out of comparison. So you're tapping into somebody else's joy, success, and celebration. Now, energetically, what that's going to do is that's going to fill you up, and it's going to permeate out to every part of your business celebration. It's also going to tell the universe, you like to celebrate. So it's going to give you more things to celebrate. That's a fabulous way to start to be open to receive. Again, that's setting the stage for receiving. Now, do you ask the world? Do you ask the universe? Bring me more possibilities. I'm ready to receive more possibilities. When you are like a detective and you are searching for possibilities and you are looking for even the littlest thing, you are going to find them. Just like if you're looking for, you love red cars. The minute that you start to focus on having a red car, you're going to see red cars everywhere. It really is true. It's not a coincidence. There's no coincidences in the world. You're setting the stage. You're setting the stage. Here is something that I did every day. I mean, I do it all the time. When a possibility comes my way, whether it's a little possibility or a big possibility, it doesn't matter. Just a possibility, right? You're open to change, you're ready to receive, and you're looking for the possibilities. What I would say every day when a little possibility would come my way, I would say, what else? What else? In other words, bring it. Bring it. I'm open to more possibilities. I have said that so many times. And just when I think, oh my gosh, this is amazing, another amazing thing happens. Another thing to celebrate comes my way. You have got to take control, and you've got to really pay attention to the words that you are using, especially in business. Especially, do not use your bank account. Do not use your bank statement. Do not use your cash flow as your meter, as your thermometer for possibilities. Because if you're going to be open to possibilities, right, you've got to be willing for something new to come in. And if something new is going to come in, it's not going to be coming in immediately like today that it's going to turn on a dime, right? The possibility has to come, and you probably have to do steps in order to really utilize that possibility to grow you and your business. Those possibilities are going to be for the future. But if you're looking at your bank account today, that's not going to be reflecting those new possibilities. Yes, you need to pay attention to your bank account. And I talk about all sorts of things about money. It's an important piece, but you're not going to have more cash flow until you have more business. And you're not going to have more business until you have more opportunities. And you're not going to have more opportunities until you're open to seeing the possibilities. There are people in the world that are creating things right now that have never been created before. Why not you? Why not you? I'll tell you something. Probably a year into my business, I was struggling. I was really, really struggling. Actually, that's not right. It wasn't a year in. It was about 4 years in. I was struggling, and things had really changed. And it was one of those, like, how you're going along in business and you're like doing pretty good, and then you get a little upsurge, and then you get a drop. It's normal. It's normal. You're going to grow yourself more than anything else when you go into your own business. And about 4 years in, I was really struggling. Things were difficult. And I really thought, like, am I going to be able to continue to do this? And I made a decision, and I said, whatever possibilities come my way, I am not going to judge them. I'm going to ask more questions. I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to ask more questions. What that one tool did for me was, when I was asked if I'd ever thought about producing a live radio show, it had me, my ego, I'll tell you something, my ego went, are you kidding me? I'm a business coach. That's not something I do. I didn't go to school for radio. I don't know how to do that. What? That doesn't sound like something I would like. And I caught myself. I caught myself saying that in my head, and I went, stop it. Ask more questions. Stop it. Ask more questions. So I did. I said, tell me more. Tell me more. What would that look like? And as I continued to have a conversation with that person, I thought, okay, well, if this possibility has come my way and it could add to my business, why wouldn't I say yes? What's the downside to saying yes? We have to utilize our questioning, and we have to challenge our thought patterns in order to choose something different. So I said, okay, I don't see a downside. I have the space to do the work, and I can learn. So I said yes, and I started. Now, whenever you say yes to something, that yes may not fulfill what it is you're desiring. But I can tell you that I know very, very clearly that the universe doesn't take you down a path and leave you hanging. The universe has your back. Do you believe the universe has your back? Do you believe that you have always been taken care of and you always will be taken care of? You see, the opportunities are here. The support is here. Physically, spiritually, the support is here. What we're doing on our journey in our growth patterns is what is making the difference. So, in some cases, one choice may lead you in one direction, and then there will be something that you'll learn, and that'll take you into another direction, and so on. But for me, when I didn't allow my ego to stop me from asking questions, that led me to producing, which led me to more clients, which led me to creating my own media platform, which led me to having a smartphone app. By the way, today is the anniversary, the 4-year anniversary, no, the 3-year anniversary of our smartphone app, the Inspired Choices Network smartphone app. And it led me to having TV shows. It led me then to having a publishing company, to having a summit company, all of that, because I didn't allow my ego to stop me. I said, tell me more. Tell me more. In that moment, I was open to the possibilities. How many times Have you judged something before you've even asked any additional questions? Or you've looked at something and said, oh, that's ridiculous. I would never do that. Without actually checking in with your body and with your business. I truly, truly believe that we should be speaking to our businesses and communicating with our businesses and allowing our bodies to communicate with us about our businesses as well. These are some of the things, these are some of the tools that I utilize and I utilize with my clients. Okay, we are up to our next break. Before we go, I want to invite you to connect with me. Send me an email, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Send me your number one challenge in business, or text me, DM me, find me on social media. I'm serious. Send me a text message, send me a DM. Let me know. Just start it out by my number one challenge in business is, and I will answer every single one of those questions myself. I do not use a bot. Let me support you as you lean into the possibilities. Let me support you. It's my pleasure to do that, and it's something that brings me great joy. I know that there are a lot of you out here who are challenged just like I was. And, this is one of the things that we do is we support other people growing into their brilliance. And that's something that when other people are having pleasure with their business, it brings me so much joy. You wouldn't even believe it. So do send me a text message or send me an email, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, and let me contribute to you and see what else is possible. Hey, maybe this is one of your possibilities. Are you open to this possibility of receiving something from me? Just a question. All right, stay tuned. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. How are you doing? What's going through your mind? How many possibilities have you actually let go by? Have you ever felt like everybody else has all the possibilities and you don't? Have you ever felt like everybody else gets to make things be easy for them in their lives and in their business, but not me? Well, we often feel like that. I have felt like that, but it's not true. It really does come down to where you are focusing and if you are opening up your eyes to the possibilities. But so many of us are judging the possibilities. We judge the possibilities before they come our way. We judge the opportunities before we allow ourselves to receive more information about the possibilities. I just got a question from someone in through Facebook Messenger who said, my number one challenge in business is caring about social media. Oh my gosh, that is such a good one, isn't it? How many of us care about social media and what people are going to think of us in social media? Too many of us are worried about anybody else's point of view, about anybody else judging us. You know what? If you don't step out and you don't give things a chance to contribute to you, you 100% are not going to receive the possibilities of what something could be. You know, like, what is something that you're really good at right now? Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is, just think about that. And go back to the time when you first started to do that. Like, one of the things that I'm going to bring it back to my radio show. My very first radio show, which was in 2011, I cried for the first 15 minutes of that show. I was excited. I was nervous. I was grateful. I was really overwhelmed with so many emotions, and they were all pouring out of me at the same time. Now, if I'd have judged myself deeply, I would never be here today, right? I allowed myself to grow into the possibility. You've got to give something a try. You can't just do something for 5 seconds, right? And then go, oh, you know what? I suck at this. This is ridiculous. This isn't going to help me. How do you know? You haven't even given yourself an opportunity to try. How many of us had to take driving lessons because we sucked at it at the first time we were trying to drive a vehicle? How many of us were terrible the first time we ever made a bed? How many times did we have to make a bed in order to be able to make a bed beautiful? How many times did you have to, like, one of my favorites, as you know, is making pies. How many times did I have to make pies that the crust was hard, or the crust fell apart and it didn't actually hold, or it wasn't cooked properly, it was cooked too much? How many times did I have to make pies like that before I finally started to get the dance of making a pie? You have to allow yourself the opportunity to learn and grow before you can write something off. But most people are judging what the future possibility could be while you're in the present with less than 10% of the information. Did you get that? Most of us are judging the future possibilities in the present with less than 10% of the information. We are closing off ourselves to the possibilities. We are not setting the stage of being willing to receive the possibilities. All right, I'm going to jump in here. I want you to write down 10 things that you are going to do to set the stage for possibilities to come to you. 10 things you're going to do to set the stage for possibilities to come to you. You get to choose. And if you're not the one choosing, then you're not going to be the one receiving. And if you're not the one choosing, you're not going to be open to the possibilities to even receive. What would happen if you wrote these 10 things down and you had them in your office? You had them in the kitchen. You had them in the bathroom. You had them in the bedroom. I used to write on my mirror in the bathroom all of the time. I would write something in there and I would read it again and again and again and again and again. Especially if you work from home, you're using your own bathroom, right? Oh, repeatedly. I would write this down all over, sticky notes, whatever it is, maybe a note on your desktop, maybe a reminder email or a reminder message that comes through on your phone. Write down these 10 things that you are open to in order to receive new possibilities. There are new things being created all of the time in the world. All of the time. We're hearing about new creations. We're hearing about new apps. We're hearing about new services. We're hearing about new products. We are hearing about things all of the time, but most of us go into the, oh, not for me. Well, if you could take a chance on the possibilities that have not yet been created, would you be willing to receive them? What if you opened your mind, right? I think they used to talk about back in the 50s and the 60s, and they would talk about everything that's ever been created has already been created. Okay, well, let's play with that for a minute. If everything that's been created has already been created, is it available to every single solitary person in the world? There are lots of different podcast platforms, right? That's not something new. But the energy of one podcast platform to another podcast platform is going to be different. They're going to focus on different things. They're going to have different things available. Well, the same thing is true of anything that's been created. There can be modifications. The same thing is, I talk to our hosts here on the network all of the time because they oftentimes go, well, that's already been said. That's already been talked about. That's already been communicated. Perhaps the base part of the information has been communicated, but not you, the energy of you, what you see, what you understand. I truly believe that every single person needs to have a voice in the creation of the world. And when we're showing up with our voices, we're creating different versions and different possibilities. But we've got to be open to that. We've got to be open to receiving those possibilities and knowing that the way that we do it is going to have our energetic stamp on it. It's going to be created differently. The same thing goes for services. The same thing goes for products. Who you are and how you create is so, so important. And it's going to be different than the next person. So Karen says, I am sure I have let hundreds go by over the past year. I was not willing to accept them. Oh my gosh. Good for you to acknowledge that, Karen. And how many of us are not acknowledging that we are allowing opportunities to go by, that we are judging these possibilities? If someone says something to you, if they say, oh my gosh, you're so good at that, you could use that as a possibility to lean in to create more in that area, right? When people see you in a light where you're doing something really great, are you receiving that? Or are you saying, oh, that's nothing? Oh, you know what? That's just something that's really comes easy to me, right? Whenever you're doing that, whenever you are dismissing an ability that you have, you are automatically cutting off yourself to more possibilities. If you are here to be unique in the world, do you not think you would have the abilities already within you to do that? And if you have those abilities already within you, they would likely be easy for you. And if they're easy for you, do you believe that they're insignificant? So many people believe that what is easy for them, that comes to them and they can do quite quickly, they dismiss that as being something of value. If you dismiss what you do easily and you don't see the value in that, that again is you going into a low vibration energy. And that's where you're going to cut off more possibilities with what you have ease with. You're judging your own possibilities. You're judging your own brilliance. And meanwhile, you came here with brilliance, with expertise, with things to contribute to the world. It's not a unique thing that you are here at this time and space. It is not something that is just haphazard chance. You came here at this time and in this space to contribute to the world, to create the world in a greater way than we have ever had before. It's not a chance. It's a possibility. It's a possibility that you said yes to. You've already said yes to this possibility of being here and creating in this world. Now, would you be open to receiving more of those possibilities? Would you be willing to open your eyes, suspend your judgment, and lean into curiosity? Because curiosity is the dance partner for possibilities for your future. All right, we are up to our next break of the show. It's going quickly. I hope you're making notes. You're listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices Network. My show is called Inspired Choices. And tonight we're talking about all about opening your eyes to the possibilities. Stay tuned, my friends. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, my friends, how are you doing? How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying tonight's show. I hope some of the things that I've been sharing with you about being open to the possibilities that are actually waiting for you, that you will lean into that. Remember to make that list of 10 things you're willing to do to set the stage to receive more possibilities. If you are enjoying this show, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Just search Inspired Choices with Christine McIver. I will be very grateful, and this will assist in getting the information out to those that need it. I also want to share a couple of tools that may actually support you, especially as an entrepreneur. There's 2 books that we've just published. The first book is called Light from the Shadows, Enriching the Lives of Others. These are hosts on the network, on the Inspired Choices Network, who share their story, their journey of really stepping into their own business and the challenges that they had in moving forward with their businesses. So you can find this, of course, on Amazon, Light from the Shadows, Enriching the Lives of Others. It's a fabulous book. I loved all of those stories. And the second one is called Take Action Now, No More Waiting. These speakers that were on this summit, and we created this book. So we have got all of these speakers, that 20 speakers that actually their talk is here in this chapter. And they have a chapter rather in the book, and they are talking about things from money to bodies to relationships to health to all sorts of spiritual, you name it. And their talks in here, they give you 3 action steps in every one of your chapters for you to be able to move forward with creating more of what you desire. These are amazing tips. And these speakers, authors are certainly out here in the world, really creating more possibilities and inviting each and every one of us into more possibilities. So next week, our show is going to be called Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. I always get these really funny titles that come through that really challenge me and invite you into playing with a new way of looking at something, a new perspective. When you are living a life of being open to possibilities, when you're living a life, whether you're in your own business or not, of really looking for the positive things in life and really looking for the kindness and the generosity in the world, you are going to see this and you're going to create more of that in your life. When you are cultivating relationships, you put kindness and energy into a relationship and you show up in your best self. What I'm inviting you into with your business, especially, is to put time and energy into your business. Put time and energy into cultivating those possibilities and being open to those possibilities. We have to set the stage and we have to spend time in cultivating the possibilities. Some of that time may be you paying attention to what you're saying. Some of that may be you paying attention to how much you're inundating yourself with the negative things in the world, as I said earlier. Do you buy into all of the anger and all of the fighting in the world? Where's your part in it? You know, if you're over here and you are working in your business and you're being prosperous, you can contribute to the world through what you are creating in your business. You do not need to be marinated in all of the chaos. And you do not need to be fighting every single solitary person around the world. You just don't. That's not going to contribute more for you. And if you're not creating more for you in your life and in your business, you absolutely cannot contribute more to the world. I believe that every single one of us should be millionaires so that we can absolutely make a contribution in the world that provides hope, that provides an opportunity for other people to step up and create in their lives. Coming up on May the 9th, I want to extend a huge invitation to you. There is a brand new summit that we are going to be hosting. It's called Sparks of Hope, Shooting for Success. We have 21 speakers who are going to be bringing their brilliance, their expertise to the table to inspire hope in your life, to inspire hope with your body, to inspire hope with maybe you're going through someone passing away through loss. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you're going through challenges with your body, with menopause. Maybe you have a hard time knowing what you should be doing with your health. Maybe spiritually, you need support. You need to grow. There are so many different topics that these speakers are going to be bringing to the table. They are going to ensue hope in your world 100%. You can go over to icnsummits.com/sparks of hope, or you can just come on over to the Inspired Choices Network, inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, and you can click on summits and you'll get the information there that'll lead you into this upcoming summit. It's going to be fabulous, and it's definitely going to be something that's going to contribute to a lot of people in the world. I'm really thrilled to see what for everybody to see what we've been creating. It's super exciting, and it certainly is something that all of the speakers are very, very excited about because they know that we're all hope dealers, right? We're out here dealing hope out to everybody we can, and we want to be able to do that on a larger scale. And that's why we're doing this summit for sure. And they're going to be giving VIP offers to every single person. There's no cost to these offers. When you join the summit, you're going to get access to every single one of them if you choose them. So do check that out. Really go back, maybe listen to this show again, check in with where you're cutting off possibilities. I would love to see something change in your world. As I said, do send me an email. What's challenging you in business? Christine@inspiredchoices.ca, or just DM me wherever you can find me. Until next week, my friends, remember, you can always make another choice. The choice is right there for you to take a hold of. Until next week. Take good care. Bye for now, my friends.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.